This week's show has been made possible with the continued support of Alpha Affiliates, where webmasters can earn up to 50% rev share.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to APCW Perspectives. J.Todd here on the floor of the Global Gaming Expo. It looks a little slow today because it's day 3. Day 3 is Thursday, and so I always wait to film until today because it slows down and I get a chance to see all the news stories. Unfortunately, this week, not a lot of breaking news to discuss, so I figured we'd just focus on Las Vegas and the gambling industry in general. As usual, Gary Trask from Casino City will be joining me in the second half. He's got some interesting insights because while I'm out shooting video all week, he's actually learning things at sessions, and he'll be happy to share in our second half. I did want to say the city right now, wow, it is really turned upside down. We have all the construction for F1 that's just jacking up traffic. We have, the hockey game. The hockey game was the other night. That was the first game for the Las Vegas Golden Knights, so it was like opening hockey season. Monday Night Football was in Las Vegas. And, of course, with all the closures on top of all this, it's just been the perfect shitstorm here in town. Trying to go 3 blocks in an Uber for $35 and 25 minutes. You could have walked it if it wasn't so damn hot and you wouldn't get run over by all the traffic. So you're kind of trapped. Good times, though. Still Vegas. And I'd rather be trapped here than just about anywhere else, I suppose. Let's see what we got. Oh, yes, in the forums. We got affiliate programs closing in Japan. And what else did I write down? Oh, yes, the Dutch online gambling market, in the Netherlands there. That market is supposedly kind of flattened out. Maybe it's plateaued. I don't know. It is a small market, but I often wondered about those smaller countries in European that want to geo-fence themselves and keep all the money in the country. And I look at that compared to a state like Vermont or Connecticut that may want to do online gambling but doesn't necessarily have the population to support it. And if they tried to like geo-fence themselves to keep all the money, it just wouldn't work. They'd have to open up their borders and have a conglomeration of states that had a market that was substantial enough to support it. And I wonder, countries like the Netherlands, I wonder if that might be the same there. Either way, we're going to take our break here. When we come back, Gary Trask. Hey friends, J.Todd back, and as promised, the man, the myth, the legend, Gary Trask is with me. Gary? Oh, there you are. Hey, Gary. How you doing? Love to have you on, man. Every year, you have such great insight into everything. And how's the show been for you this year?
It's been busy. Been very busy. A lot of excitement throughout the industry, both iGaming and land-based. And Las Vegas is crazy right now. A lot of good things about it, but a lot of bad things about it. I know the locals aren't happy with all the construction going on out there. But for someone like me who flies in for just 6 days, to have Monday Night Football going on Monday night, the Packers are in town. There are cheeseheads everywhere. Tuesday night, the Las Vegas Knights opened up the season, Stanley Cup champions. Last night, U2 at Sphere. Friday night, U2 at Sphere. Football, the weather is beautiful. So as far as I'm concerned, it's fantastic.
You mentioned U2 at the Sphere. I, too, went to the Sphere, but I don't make Casino City money, so I couldn't afford to go to U2. I had to go to the Postcard from Earth show. And I got to tell you, the venue is spectacular. It lives up to everything it's billed as. But the show, for me, left me wanting a little something. It felt forced. It felt contrived. I'm just being honest. And it was more of a political message than it was anything else. And I don't mind politics because, I mean, we deal with politics all the time, but all I wanted that night was just to be entertained and see some cool stuff and experience it. And what I got was force-fed an agenda. But how was U2?
The complete opposite. It was spectacular. I mean, like you said, that the venue lived up to all the expectations, which isn't usual in anything. And U2 was fantastic. It was mind blowing, really mind blowing. I'll post some videos on my Twitter account when I get through them. But yeah, it was really incredible. Great time. Pretty organized getting in and out of there. I was really pleased with that. And yeah, it was just a great show. The U2 played for almost 2 hours straight, and they can still bring it, man.
Yeah, well, you were at U2. Anthony and I were over at Jackson Brown. Just a generational thing, young man. But you also attended some sessions that you found fascinating. You're gonna do some articles on them, I'm sure. But just kind of a brief overview of what you learned that may be pertinent to affiliates out there.
Well, the first thing which was interesting, the keynote speech was with Jason Robbins, the CEO from DraftKings, and Amy Howe from FanDuel. Those are the two sports betting companies that control is probably the wrong word, but have almost 80% of the sports betting activity in the U.S. So that's a great panel right there. They talked a lot about the black market, and Amy Howe mentioned how that's a problem. The search engines, when you search for sports betting sites in the U.S., about 50% of them are still illegal, send you to illegal sites, and that number rises to 80% in states like California, Texas, and Florida.
Let me inject something here as a quick question. When they say black market and illegal, are they just meaning things that aren't regulated where they are? Are they talking about what we as affiliates look at as black market sites? Because technically in California right now, like a legitimate site like Bet365 could be considered black market because they're not licensed in that jurisdiction.
Yeah, they didn't talk about that, but I'm sure that's what they mean. Yeah. So that was interesting. Another panel was about how slow the rollout is going here in the U.S. with online casinos. There's still only 6 states here with online casino, and in those 6 states, the revenue compared to sports betting, online casinos making 6 times as much. But yet we only had 1 state, I think, this in 2023 roll out this year in Rhode Island. Howard Glazer from Light & Wonder mentioned that a lot of that has to do with the land-based casinos are afraid that it's going to cannibalize their revenue, and he made a great analogy how Uber Eats is not taking away from people going to restaurants. One is an experience, one is a convenience. And I make the same comparison with sports books. Even though you can, here in Nevada, you can bet on, with 8 different, 10, 12 different outs, and you can just stay in your room or a bar. People are still going to sports books for the experience.
No, before we came on, I was talking about that as a poker player. I love online poker, but when I play it, it makes me want to go to the casino to actually feel the cards and hear people shuffling chips and the voices and the inflections that I can't necessarily pick up online. You can see those things in person. And so for me, it just reinforces the fact that online is supplemental to, in addition to, or even a marketing tool for land-based gaming.
Definitely. Yeah, it's, there's a lot of lost tax revenue. I mean, these states that have sports betting and don't have online casino, and let's face it, the operators, that's what they want. That's the holy grail. I mean, DraftKings can say, they want that they're a sports betting company. They started as a DFS company, but the real money is online casino, and that's what they want. So it'll be interesting to see. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of positivity about it coming out any faster. The rollout is just going to be slow, and we'll get there eventually, just like we did with sports betting, I guess.
Yeah, the psychological aspects of this industry, they hide behind that sometimes. I think really they know it's not going to cannibalize them. They just want to monopolize, and they kind of hide behind that facade of, we're legitimately afraid of something, and really it's just more corporate greed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but regulating online sports betting, there's geolocation, there's age verification, there's payment processing. It is the regulation of online gambling. It's just not casino gambling.
Yeah, and if you remember the sports books here in Nevada, they were against the online because they thought it was going to, they made the argument that it was going to hurt them, and if anything, like you said, it's probably helped them.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here because we could talk for another half hour, and that's a lot of editing work for me, so we're just going to call it good. Gary, it's always fun having you on, sir. You always dress so sharp, you know? You look professional. I look like I should be handing out shit on the Las Vegas Boulevard, you know? There you go.
If you did that, maybe you could afford the U2 ticket.
If I did that, maybe I could afford the U2 ticket. I think you're right. Octone, baby. All right, man. We'll see you next week.